Right. So, this is recording. If not, talk. But then, let's see what we can do this morning. Okay, so I came across a writing. No, it's not a writing. It was somebody talking, one of these big names. And the person was saying that two ways to actually break through, or two ways to actually become financially not independent, but financially, is it buoyant? Is it free? Is it you shall be good in life with your finances and have more than enough to live in abundance and to become almost anything you want to be. And as far as wealth creation and finance is concerned, he said, one, learn to build. He said, two, learn to sell. At least one of those two you should know how to do. If you cannot sell, you should know how to build. If you cannot build, you should know how to sell. And why is because if you don't know how to build, you can sell for those who build. And that might seem to save you some kind of serious responsibilities, but it still gets you engaged to be able to make more than enough for you to chase your dream and become everything you want to become in life. Because one of the highest paid people in this world are the salespeople. So if you are not producing, you can actually sell what somebody else produced. And that way, there is almost no limit to what you can become, what you can achieve, and the influence you can have. I've always heard about these salespeople, but there is one that impressed me the most. I can't even remember the man's name now. I was at this event that Dell organized in Lagos, and there is this regional salesman for Dell. The man is in Nigeria. If you have ever heard some people being called smooth talkers, they should be salespeople. That man, gosh, with his presentation, his PowerPoint presentation, and everything, he was saying it as though everything was in his head. But that's not even the funny part. He knows where the punchlines are. He knows where the call to actions are. He knows, like, as he's dropping it, everything line by line from start to finish, they are all bombshells. Alright, how will this man sell to somebody and somebody will now say no that I'm not buying? For the person to say no, the person must really have uh the person must be at a point where there is seriously no need for that product. But as long as that person has need for that product, they will just buy. In fact, they will buy before they realize what is happening. And if you are not sure you have need for it already, by the time that man stops speaking, you would have come to conclusion in your mind that you have to buy. They, he just know the work. He sabi talk. Not be all these small sales that we do around here that you say come and buy. If you know you are not buying, then maybe I'll go to the next person. Or if you know it's not Kinecon, I can offer you. No, they will talk you into the very thing they are selling, offering you the values, telling you how you can make your life better. But beyond that is the way they say that it appeals to you. You know, all those kind of point or levels where somebody speak to you and you say, mm, exactly. They have a lot of that. And all they are doing is selling their product. And everybody, you say what? And everybody in the hall that day were just wild. Everybody just agree with the man. And both those of us who know what the product is doing and those who don't know, those who have need for it and those who don't even have business at all with the product, the man speaks so well that it touches everybody. What am I saying is, even if you are not producing, you can sell what has been produced. So, if you're on the side of sales, it means you don't necessarily have to produce yourself. You only have to understand what has been produced. That means you choose a product. Either you decide to go in the side of real estate, you go in automobiles, you go into softwares, gadgets, tech, or you go into physical materials, either clothing, cars, um, almost any other thing that we use every day in our lives. All you have to do is to get into one of those industries, understand how it works, and then start selling. If you remember the books we have read from money, okay, we are reading money presently. We've read negotiation. Which other one have we read? Money, negotiation, psychology. No, I think the first one we read was it sales?
Yeah, the first one we read was sales.
Oh yes. So we read sales, then negotiation. Now we are reading money. Okay. If you check through all, especially that sales part, you notice that all through it's always about you finding a new way of selling whatever you are selling, so that by the time you are done making your presentation or talking to whoever you are talking to, they are ready to drop their money. That's why you will see a lot that was written about Brian Tracy, tell you different kind of customer, tell you how to present, when to present, how to dress to where you are going, and to also understand the nature of the client you're talking to or the customer you're talking to. Really, if sales is not so important to our lives, I think there wouldn't have been much written about it. And even God sells. But you people, you don't know that you are doomed, though, but let me tell you that I have a place for you where you don't have to worry about electricity or you worry about spending money, where you don't have to worry about the government of this world. Come to a place where there is no darkness. Even Jesus sell. In fact, Jesus was selling more like Harvey Specter. Where you people, you do this or this happen to you. You do this or this happen to you. He doesn't have time to be begging you, cajole you. He tell you straight to the point. Now, I'm saying that to let us see that irrespective of how good whatever anybody has produced is, irrespective of how good your own character is, what you do is, your business, your anything at all, irrespective of how good it is, you still need the sales people to actually make sure it sells. And like Steve Jobs would say, there was this, I think they got a marketer for Apple then. And the person went to her and was like, we need so amount of money to carry out market research. And Steve Jobs said, no, we don't do market research like that here. These people don't know what they want until I tell them what they need. He says so It is not about you going to just find out what these customers need, but you thinking ahead of them and know that if this is present in people's life, it's going to make their life easier. And then you present it to them in such a way that by the time you are done making your presentation, they know they need this thing, and then they come to a place of agreement with you that they drop their money. So that is sales. That is one way to make anything and everything you really want to make. So if you are not producing, you can sell. And when you are selling, or when you are the salesman, it gives you a lot of room, a lot of opportunity, the free space to choose where you want to go. Like you can decide anything else you want to sell. There's no restriction on what you can sell. You have the liberty to choose and say, this is what I want to sell, and you stay with it, and then you master it and you start selling. So if you are not selling, then the responsibility now falls on you to produce. Because I mean, how do you do live without being able to sell? And if you're unable to sell, how do you do live without producing? So you can't always take, you must either sell or you produce. And in this case, you have seen what it is to sell. Because when you sell, you make your profit either by commission or by direct profit. Well, most of the time when you are in sales, you really don't have access to direct profit. You have access to commission. I say that because you are not the one producing. So the cost implication of the cost of production is not exactly on you. So what you get when you sell is a commission of the direct profit that the producer or the owner of the product is getting. And that's why when you sell the likes of real estate, they will tell you you bring 10 people or you sell so product, you get 5%, you get 10%. It goes like that across almost every other market. You sell car, you get a commission. You sell house, you get a commission. You sell land, you get a commission. You sell jewelries, you get a commission. You sell gadgets, you get a commission. And it goes round and round like that. And because it's a commission thing, it also tells you there is no limit to how much you can make. So you can make as much as you sell. And so, you may want to consider which one is really okay for you. Now, that is sales. So if you are not doing sales, then you have to come to the side of production, where you are producing something. Either you are building houses for people to come and buy. There is a cost. By the time you are able to sell with the help of a salesman, or if you decide to be the salesman yourself also, by the time you remove how much it costs you to build the house from how much you sell it, then you have your gross profit. Then by the time you remove some logistics and every other things that are involved, you have what is called your net profit, and that's what you take home. Right? That can be a direct profit because you are into production. So people who produce water, they're into production. Those who manufacture cars, they're into production. Those who make your cream, they're into production. Those who make your clothes, they're into production. Those who make your shoes, they're into production. Those who make the software, the system, be it hardware or software that you use, they're all into production. So those people, they make what is called direct profit. And to do sales, you might not really need the capital to start, or you might not really need much to start, but to do production, you are going to need something to start. To a large extent, you can start your sales by simply reading a book, watching a podcast, and stuff like that. But really, your production cannot just start like that. You have to start from experiment. And what I mean is, having learned your skill and everything, you have to then get your hands dirty by trying to produce that thing. You produce, it fails, you produce again, you try and try. Then there is need for you to continuously have money to keep producing. There is need for you to have people or have energy to at least keep going, right? Well, in sales, you only have to pick a product that's already available, that somebody already produced, and then talk about it to people. So I'm telling us that these two ways are the basic ways to actually get your life moving also, right? When it comes to production, it can it can cut across those who do trainings, lectures, consultation or consultancy, and different other things like that. All of that goes into producing something. You're putting something together for the benefit of others. But when it comes to sales, this is you telling people that this is what somebody has put together for your own good, and this is what it will cost you to get it. Now, and the person now say, if you now want to be unstoppable, know how to do the two. You can produce, you can sell. Then you truly become unstoppable. So, my basic charge this morning, or a reminder, is to say that directly or indirectly, we all are going to fall into one of those two categories. But those that will truly be unstoppable among us are going to be those who know how to do the two. Either you like it or not, you are going to either sell or produce something. And then, if you are able to do the two, oh, really, you will have no limit to what you can become. There will be no limit. And so, it's just what you have to do. This is my TED Talk this morning. Thank you for coming.
Producer, I've made sometimes, even most times, when I say most times, even make more percentage than what the producer is even making. I don't know if you have noticed that. Because, for example, someone that is working as a middleman, you understand?
Yeah.
And you have noticed this. You find out that someone that is working as a middleman, who can link ẹni tó fẹ́ tàn ọkàn àti ẹni tó ní nǹkan tó fẹ́ rà papọ̀ ni o. And if you find out the percentage that is making from just connecting those two people together, you'll find out that the amount, with just that little effort that he made just to connect the seller and the buyer together, is making less than 30 to 40%. You understand, of what even the person that took out time, effort to produce that stuff is making. And so I think it's a very good one that we try and make ourselves good sellers. We try and make ourselves good marketers, because it's a very good opportunity to be involved in sales. If you cannot be involved in production, at least know how to sell something. I remember me connecting someone to a seller. A seller to that I connected a buyer that wants to buy a system to a seller. And I happen to know someone that gets those systems, that imports those systems from the US, from the UK. And by the time I just made calls and found out the price he wants to sell. You understand? I found out that even I now called other people that also sell that same particular product and compared the amount they are also selling that particular product, which I know the person that wants to buy the system will if the person asks that same product from other vendors, you understand, we'll be getting that particular price that the general people sell the product, you understand. And this particular person I'm dealing with gets it directly from abroad, so his price was cheaper. So it enabled me to be able to negotiate better, you understand, and add my own profit. For example, a system that some other people are selling for 400k, and I'm getting it from this particular seller for 270k. Do you understand? If I add at least 50k to the cost price, and add my profit of 50k to it, the person that's supposed to buy can go on and make his findings about the system, you understand? But the person is getting the product with my price at least 50,000 naira difference from the general public, since because of my link with the person that gets it from abroad, you understand? So, and looking at the person that is even selling the product, his profit might not be up to 50k.
Yeah.
You understand? His profit might not be up to 50k. But because I just connected him to his customer, I'm making 50k on that. So that's one thing I noticed about sales. If you can be positioned well to, and sales also. What I also noticed is that sales also matters with it. Also, what you get from sales also matter with your connection. I think I stand to be corrected. Who you know, for example, the amount of profit that someone that knows that is in contact with the product, the manufacturer itself, will be different from the amount of profit that someone that is getting it from a retailer or a wholesaler will get. You understand? So your connection also matters in how much you can make from sales. You understand? If you are getting it from the source itself, from the direct source, you can maximize profits, and also it also assists you to be able to negotiate better. You understand? Because you are at an advantage, because other people that are selling that particular product and don't have access to that link that you have will see you as a better option to go for. You understand? So that's one thing I noticed about sales. Yeah.
All right. So truly, when you look at sales,
Sales too. Davida.
yeah,
I think example of sales too and production is this house owner and agent.
yeah,
House owner let belele ni bear 250.
mm-hmm.
Agents now will be saying na them be salesperson now. They think that same house they feel they talk say na 550.
Yes, sir.
Or even 6. And what are they? They did not lay the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
They did not do the tiling. They did not do anything. Because they are just selling the service of rentage to tenant. They are adding that big amount of money to the amount that the producer, the owner of the house want to rent the house out, and they are cashing out 250, 300, that kind of thing. So it is very, very crazy. That their profit margin is mad. But for the salesperson to be able to amount to that kind of profit, it just depends on how well he knows how to play his game.
Yeah.
But sometimes if agent bá ti ń tóbi méjì mẹ́ta lórí ilé kan ẹ ti máa mọ̀ pé ilé ẹ̀ máa wọ́n, because the direct agent that has the link with the house owner, if another agent come connect am, all those agents go wan collect money. And as the chain long, na so the house money sef go long.
Yeah.
So all those ones then go get their commission. Sometimes too, products like maybe car or all those people that sells all these Lekki houses. If you be say the owner go just talk say, okay, this house na 50 million. However, you wey wan sell am, you fit add anything wey you wan add on top am. Me, I sha wan collect 250 million. So when they start their advertising or their sales rubbish, they fit call the house 350. They fit call am 250. They fit call am 300. Any price wey they sell am, e don't concern the owner. Wetin the owner is after is the amount that they agreed on. Whichever amount they sell, it doesn't concern me. So it depends on how the same person feel, how the person gets, how he feel run in paro. No one say to my make. So now say it be.
So yeah, sales is actually really crazy because to a large extent it comes from a place of market understanding, right? If see the same pen, okay, let me use the common example we always use every time. The same bottle of water you will buy for 200 naira on the street is what you will buy for 500, 1K at a restaurant. And then when you get to the likes of certain exotic hotels, you can buy that same bottle of water for 2,000, even up to 5,000. Nothing is added. It is not more pure than the one on the street. It's not safer. The branding is not different, but where they are selling it is different. And most importantly, who they are selling it to is different. So when you go into sales, one of the things you want to understand is what kind of markets do I have? And beyond that, is you also coming to a place of conclusion, who do I want to sell to? Because like we have read through those books, you have different kinds of customers or clients. There are those who just want a particular product. They don't care how much it will cost them. They know the product they are looking for. If you damn those people, your business is sweet. There are those who don't really care what the product looks like. They know this is the product they like, but most importantly, they don't want to spend more than this amount of money. And there are those that if they can get it for free, they don't mind. They really don't. So it goes in different aspects and different categories, but most importantly, as a salesman, it's you understanding your market. So when you understand your market, you understand the people you want to sell to, then there is almost no limit to how much you can make on a product. Because those people who said they are selling luxury items, you won't find them in certain places, not because they don't want to go there, but because they know that the kind of people they are looking for are not there.
Yes, now, person wey dey sell house for Lekki to wá lọ sí Korodu. If he sell one or two, but if I'm going to sell as much as ó lọ sí bí Banana Island, ó lọ sí Ikoyi, lọ sí àwọn area táwọn rich people wà yẹn.
And those two that he will sell in Korodu, will not be the profit on it most likely will not be up to one that we sell in Ikoyi, VI,
Yes, and
Lekki.
wahala sef.
Shey you
The
get?
wahala wey be person himself.
May your case no go be like agent Awilo. When dem find out go Lekki, e say e forget key, dem say where key dey? E say e dey Ikorodu.
Ah! Ah! Wahala.
So really, when you're a salesman, from you can actually double the price of a product. Sometimes you can triple it depending on where you are selling and who you are selling to. Because the same pen that you will sell for 20 naira on the street is the same pen somebody will pitch to another person and the pen will be going for up to 1,000 naira. Because when it comes to sales, the first position you want to take is the people you are selling to don't know this property as much as you know it. They don't know this product as much as you know it. Irrespective of what imagination, what they have imagined, what they think they want in that product, as at the time that you are selling that thing, they don't know it as much as you know it. And so when you are presenting to them, you don't want to present to them as though you are making an inquiry or you are trying to find out if that's the product they want. You are presenting to them as somebody who has seen this product, who has seen the product work, who has seen the product give them what they want. And so by the time you present it, they are not just getting that product just for what it is. They are getting that product for what it is and for what it gives to them. And depending on where you are, it can be status, it can be ability to do something better, it can be self-worth, it can be self-value, it can be all sorts of things. And if you know so much about sales, you know that those who sell beyond products, they tend to make more than those who just sell products. And what I mean by that is, for every product, service that you sell, make sure there's an emotion that is being sold with it. And that goes into either you are selling status with it. Like if you want to sell house in Lekki now, you are not just selling shelter. You are selling status. You are selling network.
You're selling luxury.
You are selling luxury. In fact, luxury still come a little low. But yes, you are selling luxury. You are selling self-worth. Because do you know who you are living with? Down there is Davido's house. Down there is Tony Elumelu's house. Down there is Dangote's house. I'm just giving an instance. I don't know if many of those people live there. But imagine you are selling in that kind of environment. Normally that house go for, let's say, 300 million naira. Or let's even say $1 million, for instance. If I want to sell that kind of place, I'll be putting it down for at least $1.2 million. Because I won't just be selling house to you. By the time you come to that environment and I tell you that, okay, 2 streets away is where Dangote house is. Just from your balcony here, you can see Otedola's house. And then the next corner is Adenuga's house. You know that automatically by being in that environment, you have access to people. That is network. You know that there is no how you want to be unfortunate rich in this life. One day or another, all you and one of those people will meet at the gate. You and one of those people will meet on that street. Your children and one of their children will meet and be friends. It's that simple. And then if you're selling cars, for instance, and you decide to go and sell the likes of Rolls Royce, the likes of Mercedes, and then anything from Prado upwards, maybe you decide to do Toyota, well, maybe then you do Prado upward and stuff like that. You know the kind of people you are selling to. So if you are selling to people, you know that you are not selling to government salary earners, especially in Nigeria. You know, no. Because when you look at it, how many salary earners and how many government salary earners in Nigeria can actually think of buying some kind of Mercedes, buy Rolls Royce. If the guy try it, they will have to investigate him. Now, what am I saying in essence is, for everything you sell at any point in time, make sure there is a level of emotion that is being sold with it. You can sell status with the product you're selling. You can sell network. You can sell networks. You can sell value, self-worth. What's this thing called? What is that thing called? You just come to a place where you sell more than whatever that person is getting as a product. You sell what is stand to gain by owning that product. Like I was saying, you sell in some places in Lekki, you know that automatically, let's even leave all these big names alone. If you live in Lekki, you know that at least, worst case scenario, your neighbor is not going to be somebody who is looking for, who cannot afford the student school fees. You know that worst come to worst, these people have one or two businesses, and if they work in any organization, you know they are not at entry level in that organization. They must be at the decision making level of that organization. So that's how to sell certain products. And so if you want to sell system, for instance, like Dimeo was saying, you know where they are selling it for 10 naira and there is somebody selling it for 20 naira, but you know in the market to the final consumer it can go for 30 naira, 40 naira. You go to where they are selling it for 10 naira and you buy and then you resell or you connect. But beyond that is the fact that, let's even say you are buying from the person selling for 20 naira and you want to sell. All of that will also determine who you are selling to. And that's where you come to, okay, this product, I guarantee you, even though it's not brand new, I guarantee you that you don't have problem in the next 1 year. That's why certain businesses put warranty and guarantee on their products. And it's not just the warranty or guarantee that they are selling. The emotion they are selling there is peace of mind. That will tell you that if you take this product away, the next 1 year you don't have anything to worry about. You don't have anything to worry about. And that's the way to sell. And your profit on any sale can be so unlimited though determined by how good you are and the kind of market you're in. So we have a controlled market where certain things are sold at certain prices. But then we have some market where you are almost the alpha and omega. You can determine whatever price. And this is especially common to those in the service market, where everybody is doing their painting for, say, 15 naira. Of course, that may be a standard price all around. But by the time you add one or two emotions to it, you can sell your own for 15 naira. And people will still be willing to patronize. So when you are into sales, the only thing that can determine the limits to your profit will be how good you are. How good you are. And if you look at that book, Psychology of Selling, Brian Tracy, he gave an instance at a point that there was this product that was difficult to sell. I think it's a glass product. Then there was this guy there who carried the product with an hammer. So every time he goes to a client that he wants to sell to a customer, you just put the glass and hit it with the hammer. Bam, bam, bam. The thing refused to break, and then he starts to make his speech. And most of the time, he always sells. And then they call him at the headquarters and say, okay, this guy, since you have been selling like this, why don't you tell everybody how to sell it? It is when he told them the skill, the system, how he has been able to sell. To himself, he thought, wait, this is my secret sauce that I just gave out. Then there must be something else I must do if I must sell better than these people. So this time when he goes, instead of him eating the glass with the hammer, he gives the hammer to the customer and tell them to eat. So when they hit the glass very hard and the glass refuses to break, automatically sales is made. And that is to drive home my point that the limit to your profiting in sales is dependent on how good you are. So if you are good, you are better than almost everybody in that field, then you will be better than everybody else at making your profit. And if you are just average like every other person, then what you'll be making will also be average. So sales is really a good place to go, where you have the opportunity to sell what everybody is selling and to sell it better, and also to actually sell with what you are selling what every other person will be unwilling to sell, right? So when you come to a point where there is a level of emotion attached to the product you're selling, then you can be rest assured that you are going to have more sales than those who have no emotions attached to it, like luxury. And most of the time, luxury talks about standard of living. It gives people a sense of arrival that, okay, for me to have done this, I'm better than most people and I've achieved this. And when you talk of status, it gives people a sense of accomplishment that, yes, I've come to this level. At this point, these are the kind of people that do the kind of things I do. When you give people connection, it gives people a sense of belonging that, okay, now this level or this place I am, only few people are there and these are the people I begin to roll with from this place forward. When you sell self-worth, it gives people a sense of upliftment that at this point I'm now worth this. These are the kind of things I now command from this place forward. When you sell value. It's like self-worth, making people to see that at this point in your life, these are the kind of people you roll with, these are the kind of things you can now do without the fear of what are people saying, what are people going to say. Let me tell you, the secondary schools that you pay millions of naira per term are the ones that you pay thousands of naira per term. You know that if you check their curriculum, there might be nothing in particular that is different. You study math, you study English. English, you study math, you study English, you study basic science and every other thing. But that place where they pay millions, to a large extent, to the parents, if you ask them, they know that, oh, the future of my children are secured. Why? Is because they get to be friends with children of some other big people. Before we even talk about some extracurricular activities like taking them to travel to some places that they never thought of going to, or they will not have opportunity of taking them to on their own. So these are the subtle things we have to think of putting into our sales. So when you tell people you are selling this, it must come to a point where people see beyond just what you do. I was talking to somebody recently about glasshouse waters, and I said, we want to come to a point where when you sell your property and people hear that the plumbing work was done by glasshouse waters, that product is already sold out. Really, to a large extent, I still don't know how we want to get to that point. But that's exactly what I want it to be. So that either your bottled water or anyone, you know that this water was made by glasshouse waters. You know that no, automatically you are a person of value. If you want to sell your property, be it a house, a resort, an hotel, or whatever it is, and you know that it's glasshouse water that is maintaining or is in charge of the water works there, you just want to be there. It's a level of emotion we want to attach to the stuff we do. You enter the house, you enter either the bathroom, the kitchen, anywhere that water is running in the house. You just see the small logo there, glasshouse waters. If they add 50 million extra to that property, you will buy. So you can't just afford to sell the product for the sake of the product. At every point in time, you must come to a point where people see that they gain more from the product that they paid for. And the best thing you can make sure they gain from the product more than they pay for are the emotions that come with it. The reason you have thrown away every necklace you bought by yourself, but it's difficult for you to throw away that one that your girlfriend bought for you, is that emotion. And it goes round like that. So really, sales is an interesting place and it's a good place to be. So if you're not producing, make sure you're selling. And if you can produce and sell, trust me, you are simply unstoppable. I hope that makes sense.